to switch on.
Testing. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear.
Testing.
Testing.
Okay.
You can use this now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Try again.
Hi, Guo Gu. My name's Ed. I've been in London Chen meditation for about 3 months now. I do actually have a question regarding how important it is to be a vegetarian when practicing. I'm currently not a vegetarian, and I do practice daily. So I just want to know how important that is to not eat meat, pretty much.
Okay. The question is about vegetarianism, how important it is. It's not crucial. It's encouraged, but everyone's body chemistry is different. Some people cannot have soy. That's a big problem if you can't have soy, because a lot of the vegetarian protein comes from that. Some people are lactose intolerant. If you're lactose intolerant and you can't take soy, then basically your protein intake is will be problematic. So generally, if you don't have any health dietary issues, we encourage people to minimize participation in the meat industry out of compassion. But it's not really required. Just be conscious of what you choose to put in your body, what you choose to participate and support. So you have more awareness of your own agency. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I have several students, long-time students, has been with me for 10, 15 years. They're not vegetarian. Yeah, it's not really absolutely required, although I can understand perhaps where this question is coming from. I don't know, I'm just guessing, because in Chinese, in a popular imagination, Buddhists are all vegetarians. And that prevents people from learning more about Buddhism. It's popular conception, but it's not really stipulated. This is it's kind of a later development in the historicity of Buddhism. During the Buddhist time, they really didn't choose vegetarianism. They begged for their alms for the food. So whatever people put in their alms bowl, that's basically what they ate. And this, of course, is the mendicant tradition in like the forest dwelling tradition of the Buddhist time. And later on, when Buddhism became sedentary, monasteries, permanent buildings, and so on. And with the emergence of the emphasis on compassion, then vegetarianism was really encouraged. But that said, there are cases in which the Buddha, on several occasions, forbid his monks to accept. Yes, of course, they went on alms begging, except food like meat that were specifically killed as an offering, cooked for the monastics. So that's not allowed. So the spirit, you can see, even in early Buddhism, is compassion. Like, you don't kill an animal and then cook it really good and then offer to the monks. Like that kind of meat, the Buddha did not accept. So basically, just leftovers food. That's what he accepted. Roadkill, food killed specifically for the Sangha, the monastic institution practitioners. Roadkill did not accept either, because there could be all kinds of disease and the body may be rotting, and nuns get sick, and other types. But the spirit is compassion. So extending that to our modern time, it's not required, but it's encouraged if a person doesn't have dietary issues. Okay. Yeah. How many of you are vegetarians? Okay. Okay. Some people are not, see? Yeah. So it's all good. Okay. Some other questions? The fellow next to you, I don't recognize. What is your name, sir? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
What is your name?
My name is
Theos. Can you hear me now?
Theos.
My name is Spiro.
Spiro. Sorry, the internet is there's a lag in it.
I think the internet
And,
connection is not
sometimes-
very stable.
No, it's the microphone issue. It's the
Or
microphone.
maybe the microphone is
Is that-
not great. Does that work now? Can you hear me better?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Perfect. So yes, my name is Spiros. It's my first time here. So
Welcome.
been practicing meditation for about a year. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I see the benefits, and that's why I'm here today.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Other folks, I can only see 3 people in the LCM. Who's the next to you?
Hello, Master. Jason again, and been here before, and yeah, attend your session like this, yeah, in the past.
Okay. Welcome again. Okay, any questions from LCM?
Not at the moment, thank you.
Okay, that's fine. What about folks on Zoom? How do you say that name? I don't recognize you, sir. Simeon? How do you say that? So apologies.
Hi, Guo Gu. It's Simeon.
Simeon.
Yeah. So I'm normally in London, and I normally introduce myself as Sim.
I think.
But yeah, I'm online because I'm in New York at the moment.
Okay, welcome. You have any questions?
I do have one question. Yeah.
Okay.
It's about the degree to which you pay attention to your body, because I'm trying to lengthen my meditation at the moment. I'm trying to do slightly longer sessions, but I find that it's very difficult to focus on my object when I keep returning to my posture, and I suppose discomfort as well. So how much is that is just an integral part of practice, especially longer practice, and how much I have to kind of try and correct that?
Let me clarify your question. Why is it that so you have your meditation method, but you find yourself always coming back to the body. Why is that? Is it the physical discomfort because you're sitting longer, or what?
It's two things. It's some of it's discomfort. Some of it is, I think, consciousness of trying to keep the right posture. So I recognize my shoulder raising, or I kind of slump forward or whatever.
Yeah. That's very normal. It's very normal. But we have to make sure that in the beginning, when we prime the body, heart and mind, that in that priming process, we're doing progressive relaxation. And we are relaxing the body section by section. And a sense of body weight is grounded. Once the body is primed in this way, this all happens before we start using the method even. Adjust the posture, and then we basically leave it alone in that kind of relaxed state, yet upright. And in the Chan tradition, we're not purposefully, like some other traditions, kind of pushing out the chest and have a perfect posture. It's not really the case. What we try to do is to replicate the natural shape of your spine as if you're standing. Okay, so the natural shape of the spine as people are standing usually is the small at the back. There's a natural kind of curve. So if you prop up the buttocks up with a cushion and have that angled shape, then it's very easy to replicate that naturalness of the upright spine. So it's not really purposeful. So when it's naturally upright, then all the vertebrae kind of stacked on top of one another, and you can be actually relaxed. So you want to make sure that the buttock is higher than your knees, so that angle will allow the back to be relaxed yet upright. And there's a dynamic to it, so you have to kind of find the right cushion or bench. Once you prime the body like that, then just leave the body alone. And you have to prime your heart. The undercurrent feeling tone in that moment, in that relaxed body, which is content, at ease. And you avail yourself to the method of practice with that relaxed, content approach. Now, if you have done this and you're sitting, prolonged, longer than usual state, naturally, physical discomfort may arise if it's, and well, two things. We're usually not relaxed in our ordinary daily lives, so our default may be shoulders up, a little bit tense. So even when you prime your body to relax and ground, just by your focusing on the method, which is a little bit of tension, developing concentration, just by concentration alone, sometimes the body goes back to the default, which is a little bit of tension and sometimes leaning forward a little bit. So in that first phase of acclimating to meditation, adjusting, learning to kind of relax, ground, engage, you're going to be going back to your body, kind of, noticing, okay, I'm kind of leaning forward. And this is a very common thing when we concentrate. For beginners and sometimes even intermediate, if they haven't established a good foundation, is that when they concentrate, they tend to lean forward. It's almost like our body is kind of wired that way. So you have to learn to relax, ground, and still develop concentration in this way, so that It's very normal. We discover, hey, I'm leaning forward or something. So that's one case where we're learning how to concentrate in a relaxed, content way, nonchalant way. Okay. Second case is what you mentioned, just physical discomfort. Physical discomfort, that will also tense the body, because our body, we perceive threat, so stress hormones are flushed down through our body is getting ready for a fight or flight, so our limbs will be tense, and that will bring the shoulder to be tense. So you have to short circuit that kind of chemical process by going back to relax the body again. Just relax into ground, into the experiencing of the method with a little tinge of discomfort. Don't make a big deal out of it. Just gonna learn to do that. That's for ordinary discomfort. Now, if the pain is really distracting, like you can't sit anymore, then I would advise to put aside the method, maybe the breath or whatever method you do, put aside and relax, recalibrate, relax, ground, content, and then isolate, identify the discomfort. Because our habit tendency is to exaggerate, meaning I'm just having pain. My whole body's painful, and body's tense up. So I want you to identify the pain. Like, where is it exactly? Don't exaggerate. Where is it? Oh, it's just basically one ankle and my left knee. And in comparison, the ankle and knee, basically the ankle is more. So don't exaggerate, identify, isolate to the sensation. The rest of the body completely relaxed. It's like cotton, it's like air, except in the middle of this cloud, this air, there's a little ankle that's having discomfort. So at that time, you can meditate on the discomfort, the pain, but you have to make sure the body is relaxed. Don't allow yourself to exaggerate. I'm just having pain. The whole leg is burning up. Just ankle. And then no words, no language. Don't allow yourself to label that as pain. Don't allow yourself to label that as discomfort. So in a wordless, non-conceptual state, you just engage in embodied experiencing of sensations. Then, the stress hormones will not flush out to the body, the chemicals, and making our body in a fight or flight mode. You can peacefully, contently, relaxingly watch the changing sensations. And that will be your meditation method for the rest of the period. Okay. If it gets excruciating or the end of the period is up, then you change the posture, but the meditation is not over. I encourage my students to familiarize themselves with, within 1 minute after you change the leg posture or whatever, within 1 minute, how the pain disappears. Usually. That excruciating, whatever sensation. And familiarize, so in other words, neurologically, synaptically, I want you to form a pattern of watching the illusoriness of the pain sensation. Familiarize yourself with that in a kind of nonchalant, direct experiential way. And then you can massage and do what needs to be done. But this meditation on pain method is something that anyone can do, but you have to make sure the pain doesn't come from a bad posture. If it's bad posture, then don't let it, just assume the right posture, relax the body. And the body is very tense and that's causing pain. Just relax the body. So if everything's correct, body's relaxed, heart's content, and it's just physical discomfort that arises from long periods of sitting, which is natural. And the period is not up yet, then this is what you can do. But we can kind of take it easy on ourselves. If the period is not up and you want to change the posture, you can do that. And what you need to do is just to consciously change the posture. Don't change change the posture. Like consciously relax around and then move the leg out. And then still watch it change. And then go back to the level that you were doing before. So what I'm guessing is out of these two, you're probably going back and forth between these two. First one is our body's default is maybe tension, so it just wants to go back to different parts of the body, discomfort. So you're noticing that while you're using the method. That's the first scenario. Second scenario is you're just sitting for longer, the legs or back or someplace start to have pain. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I think that's very helpful. May I just ask one brief follow-up to that?
Yeah.
It's a little bit about how the method itself might also be the source of the tension. So I think actually the initial, I'm okay with the relaxation of the body in a natural attitude, but the attempt to maintain the method generates its own tension, and that makes my body tense up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's part of number one, what I'm talking about, because usually when we develop concentration, we associate with tension, like concentration, tension, So this is just a part of negotiating and rewiring ourselves to just relaxingly concentrate. My teacher used to, when I was a novice, this always tripped me up because my teacher always says, relaxingly tense. I'm like, what are you talking about? Relaxingly tense on the method. So there's a tautness to the way that we're on the method. We're just on the method, but completely relaxed. So it's something we have to learn, You could say rewire ourselves. Usually people associate, our wiring is relax, okay, I'm going to sleep, bad job. And concentrate, and then there's tension. So you want to be able to relaxingly concentrate. Yeah.
That's really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Let me just tag on a little note why that's possible. Just to have a complete picture. Because usually when people concentrate, there's a tinge in that undercurrent feeling tone that I'm talking about. There's a tinge of grasping and seeking. Okay. And if we prime ourselves properly, that shouldn't be there. And that's what enables us to content, relax, grounded, and concentrate. So if you sense a sense of, wandering thoughts, bodies, obstruction, all these things, I just want to stay with the method, like that kind of attitude, that's grasping. So that will disturb the mind. That will actually generate the stress hormones. We're going to be tense. So what is it like then? What is that attitude then of nonchalant contentment feeling tone? It's a kind of relaxed, but it's not completely just like don't care about anything. Sometimes I encourage students to fall in love with their method. That would not generate tension. That generates appreciation. Sometimes I say grateful to the method, especially if a person's meditating on a breath. Just gratitude, like really appreciating the sensations and so on. That will not generate tension. You see, so the skills with which we avail ourselves of the method is something that you have to expose what's happening and then adjust, like learn to adjust what's present, how to approach it. Yeah. So fall in love with the method, or very grateful to your method. Great, or sometimes I say like a child eating a favorite ice cream. There's no tension there. It's just like, wow, once a year you get to eat your favorite flavor. Your mind is encapsulated, right? Drawn to it naturally because there's intention. Right? So intention is everything. In other words, the feeling tone is everything. And the feeling tone, content, yet this great fascination, drawn to it because we appreciate it, we're grateful to it, or we're just in love with it. That will not generate the kind of greed versus aversion, kind of unwholesome states. Okay.
Thank you, Guo Gu.
Yeah. Yeah, meditation is it's not just a mechanical thing, a method. We just use the method and just pound our way or fight our way through, relying on our own survival mechanism or our own habit tendency or our own default way of working through things. That usually doesn't work. The whole meditation process is to untangle that kind of habit tendency that drives us, protect us in daily life. Because what drives us is seeking, greed. What protects us is anger. So most of the time we're driven by greed, protected, sheltered by anger. That's the three poisons out of ignorance. So that whole way in which we engage in life, relationships, it's very different from correct way of practicing, in at least from the Buddhist perspective, free from the three poisons, greed, hatred, ignorance. So it's a kind of rewiring ourselves or dismantling the habits. Yeah. And building a new relationship with ourselves, building a new relationship with our method. So we start with the method, the way we relate to it. So one thing we don't want to do is, most people, if they're not careful, they're relating to the method the same way that they're relating to other people and things in daily life. Three poisons. So they're just shifting that to whatever that they're doing. So the mind is agitated, disturbed, right? So, and they wonder why they can't meditate well. And so that whole process has to change. And that is the importance of instructions, from teachers, from fellow practitioners sharing like this occasion. We're sharing our experiences, and in time we learn to practice in a more effective and wholesome way. So we're going to build a new relationship with ourselves in the method. It's not just a kind of a simple kind of exercise, like mental exercise that we're doing. It may begin that way, but slowly we come to realize what the efficacy of the practice come from the shifting away from our default habit tendencies. Okay. Anyone else? Ruth? I feel like a question is formulated the way you.
So I was in the London Centre this morning. I went for half a day, so that's nice. And that was my first time, and I've never been before. And actually, I've been sort of trying to meditate on and off for about 30 years, but I haven't ever managed really. And it's because when you were talking about exaggeration, it's interesting. My experience of going inside has always been like almost like a terror. So it's not just it's physical but emotional, mental as well. So whenever I did do some practice, it was terrible. It just felt terrible. And I'm older now, and I seem to have there's a little bit of something that I can start building. Feels like I can start building a little bit of a relationship where I can just sit for a minute, or I sat for several minutes this morning. So I'm in, and I've done yoga for about 30 years. So I'm always trying to try and work out that way of being with myself that feels like I can find a place, which I imagine is something that people are much closer to if you're able to sit. I've never been able to do that. Yeah, I think there's lots of questions in there, but not really expressed. Did you want me to try and pull some out, or did you want to say something?
Yeah. Do you mind me pulling some of the things
Yeah,
out?
I'd love you to. I thought that would be enough. It's a lot of, yeah, exactly.
First, it's okay. There's a lot of things that we discover within ourselves when we try to relate to ourselves. Sometimes people feel fear, terror, sometimes feel loneliness. Sometimes people are just really happy. Sometimes people just uncomfortable. Yeah, it's all fine. And so we do not about quantity. We try to relate to ourselves, have good quality short sessions. Right? So I don't want to pry too much, have you share, because it's probably your first time sharing anything. So let me just make some assumptions and and go from there. Okay. So there are parts of ourselves that we may have difficulty with. Sometimes they come in the form of like visual, like memory. Sometimes not, meaning it's implicit. But the feeling tone is present, and that is very clear. Sometimes for some people, it's verbal, like words. For some people, it's visual. Some people, it's just feeling tone, right? So I'm guessing for you, it's just feeling tone. Sorry. So what you can do is you focus on the foundation. Don't worry about meditation. Don't worry about the method of practice. You just sit for 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. How? You just focus on, like what I was telling Sim, relaxing, just like the yoga that you're doing, just relaxing, not in the head, but actual sensations, tactile sensations, space between the eyebrows, place of the cheeks, the neck, shoulders, raise them, let them drop. Just focus on section by section, relaxing, feeling grounded, and a sense of weight. Allow the bodily weight sink down to the buttocks and your knees and bottom half of your body. Really feel that weight there. And then do it again. Okay? And then gentle smile. If you have a gentle smile, I want you to be sensitive to this shift in the feeling tone. Just by the muscle memory of smiling, after you relax and smiling, the chemicals will change in your body. Feeling tones will change. So resonate yourself with that. Allow yourself to kind of soak it in. And so you're relaxing, you're grounding, feeling tone, content. It's all good. And then all you need to do is just breathe in and out once. You just say, and then just that's the end of the meditation. Okay, so then just relax and massage. Just all you need to do is just incrementally just do that. Relax, ground, content, and really enjoy the breath. Just 1 round, 2 rounds. If you want to stay longer, fine, but not necessary. Once you build a discipline of doing that, if you do that for 3 months every day, and we're talking about 5 minutes, everyone has 5 minutes, everyone has 7 minutes. If you do that for 3 months, you would have habituated yourself into naturally a new relationship with yourself of being in the body somatically. Okay, so that's the foundation. After 3 months, you can slowly, incrementally extend. Maybe now one round of breath. And just stay with the breath for however long you want, maybe 5 minutes. So 15 minutes of sitting. Double that, 20 minutes of sitting. And if things should arise, the fear, the terror should arise, you would have developed a basis, a foundation to respond to that. What is that foundation? A somatically experiential groundedness and contentment for the past 3 months that we've done. So when you conjure that up, you can face it with acceptance. And these feelings, and you have developed an experience like you're the host, they're the guests. Like you own your apartment, right? And you have friends come over. The friends come over, yeah, they leave. You're the ones going to stay, right? So build a foundation of relax, contentment, acceptance, enjoying the breath. And when you need to call on that, you have something to call on, that contentment. And when these guests, unpleasant guests come, it's fine. Take a seat. I know you're going to leave in a few minutes anyway. I'm just going to do my thing, relaxing breath. And after a while, they come, it may be terrible, they'll leave. So incrementally, to the point, I want you to build up to a point in which it's like you're inviting terror to come. Once you ground, relax, content, and you say, bring it on. The terror. In that contentment, I want you to familiarize yourself with, in the contentment, terror, fear come. Bring it frontally, face. And if it's too much, okay, you go to the corner of the room. You can still stay in my room, but you stay there. I need to recalibrate. Okay. And then if it's okay, bring it up front again. Terror, this feeling. And then relax. Relax and ground into that. And you have the whole earth, the whole ground as your basis to experience these guests come and go. You are the ground. You are the earth. People may trample on the earth, walk on it. Yeah, but they'll leave. But slowly build up that. Does that make sense?
Yes, it made sense, and I could feel a lot of it. It feels like it's not a thought or emotion of terror. Or it's not quite the right word, but I've said it now, so we'll stay with it. It feels like it's of my body. So that the problem of sitting, it's the being still. It's from my body. It's not a thought. So the stilling and coming into my body, then I'm seeing what's there, basically. So that's why. But when you were saying the thing about just doing a little bit, then the one breath and go, that felt really lightening. I felt lightened when you said that. So that's
just being in the body. Just appreciate and being in the body. And allow whatever comes up. All right, oh, time's up. Adios. Just get up. But eventually you want to be able to, whatever that comes up, extend the time. You can always get up, right? And so you extend time, allow whatever that comes up from the body, or when you go in the body, you have under your belt some experience now. The experience of relaxing, grounding. The earth is your ally, right? The earth is your support. And then all these other things that come up, it's fine. Extending, learning to be comfortable in that. That will be very useful. And you will start to have some insights about these feelings that actually come. These insights will change, so don't make them into like a big deal or reify them into a thing. Don't need to do that either, but you will start to develop. You need to build up your ally, your resources incrementally. Stefania, what are you doing?
Hi, it's my first time here. I'm based in London. I have a practice of yoga in the Kashmir tradition, and I just wanted to raise with you today, to raise up the issue of drowsiness and confusion in a practice.
Yeah.
And normally when so basically what happens is that there's a noticing of just being like stuck or frozen, and it's a mix of confusion and drowsiness, and in the context of movement meditation, that gets more dissolved. But if I sit more often than not, that's not enough in a way. And then what happens later is that I notice a lot of stuck emotion of a potential anger or something like that, that's even felt in the thighs, in like if I stay with the feeling tone, just the sensation, it's like that. So I just wanted to share that. I don't know if you have anything to say.
So in your yoga tradition, do they say anything about that? Antidotes or kind of process? Do they have a place for that?
A place for what, sorry?
For what you're experiencing. Do they talk about that? Confusion and drowsiness and stuck emotions in the body. Like your yoga teacher.
Yeah, so I think the idea is that everything is happening within us. So yes, standing up and instead of sitting down might help in a way. But the idea is to I guess not to name that in a way, but just to notice it as if any other sensation in a way comes into awareness, not getting involved in it, but just continuing in a way the practice. I'm not sure. I haven't raised this directly, I guess, so far. So it just came up now.
Yeah. What kind of, so you're saying the kind of emotions is anger? Any other kind of emotion that you discover that's stuck?
It's mainly it's like a very, at a core, it's very strong. I call it anger, but it's like a very charged kind of emotion that's almost not even nameable. I don't know how to say it. It's like
Aggression, aggressive kind of energy.
Yeah, that
So-
kind of thing.
So it has no target. It's not like you're angry at this, or angry at him, or her.
No,
It's
it's
just kind of strong energy.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Strong energy that's mainly stuck. So that's why when it's stuck, it feels like confusion or drowsiness. But when it's not stuck and I get in touch with it, I don't even get in touch with it. Something happens. It just something gets unstuck in a way while in a movement practice that's not with a purpose. Like I don't try to do anything with it. And that's when it starts that energy to be unleashed and more felt in a way. And sometimes it's quite strong, like I even need to sit down because standing up is even too much. The body's like, it's like left and right, shaken in a way. And
So 2 questions. It happens in daily life too, not only sitting meditation.
What?
So that's one.
the
Kind of
drowsiness or
the strong emotion leading to drowsiness, right? Does it lead to